Hello, everybody. So, as you see on the screen, we are here for Numbers chapter 13 for our YouTube video for today. Now, remember, as I have said, because of the nonsense that Bible Hub is doing with its with its stuff underneath the words, this stuff down here that I'm highlighting, right? The H, the N, the R, the P, and all this stuff, specifically things that are referring to being plural or singular or whatever. Now this one's actually singular. It's one God, one Lord. Okay. This would be the equivalent of Yahweh, which would be a singular. Okay. So keep that in mind. But the point I'm making is that the reason I'm doing this is so that we will actually have these things below. You know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now that's not plural down there. That's proper name. That's why it's P, same as you see here. But like for this one, for example, right? Singular, right? You do actually see it. So it just depends. I was told that this is a pretty good one, so I'm gonna use this one for the time being with dealing with the Old Testament. But in any case, here we go. So, and spoke the Lord, that's Jehovah, that's one God, you know, whether you call him Jehovah or you call him Yahweh, it's the same name, this thing right here in the Hebrew language. Okay, and it's read this way. Okay. So still implying Father, Son, Holy Spirit as one God, but from a singular standpoint. And the Lord speaks to Moses and he says, send thou men that they may search. May means free will is implied, obviously. Search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. So search the land of Canaan, and you will come across the land that I want to give you. Every man, a tribe of their fathers, shall you send everyone a ruler among them. And sent them Moses from the wilderness of Paran, that's the area that he was in, by the commandments of the Lord. All those men were heads of the children of Israel, and these were the names of the tribes of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zakur. Yeah, looks like Shammua or Samua, but Shammua, I think. The son of Zakur. 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 Yeah, I think that's how you do it. Zakur. Because I think the C is sounding like a cat. So Zakur. 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 Something like that. Anyway, of the tribe of Simeon. So here's the next tribe, right? Of the tribe of Simeon, send out Shaphat, the son of Horidi. Of the tribe of Judah, send out Caleb, the son of Zephuni. Of the tribe of Issachar, send out, I think this is Igal, the son of Joseph. Of the tribe of Ephraim, send out Oshia, the son of Nun. Of the tribe of Benjamin, send out Palti, the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, send out Gadil, the son of Sadi, or Sodi. Of the tribe of Joseph, namely the tribe of Manasseh, send out, and so right here we have the son of Sodi of the tribe of Joseph. So likely he's of the tribe of Joseph, is what if I'm reading this right. And of the tribe of Manasseh, send out Gadi, the son of Susi. Of the tribe of Dan, send out Emil, the son of Gamali. Now, this son here would either be context of biological son or descendant of. But since it's so close to, not a whole lot of time going by, I'm thinking this might be an actual son, biological son, not descendant of. But you do have to be careful with that because bene, the word here, can also be used for a descendant of. Uh, anyway, of the tribe of Asher, Asir, I think Asir. You have Sitir, the son of Michael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, you have Nabi, the son of Vapshi, or Vapsi. Of the tribe of Gad, you have Gil, the son of Maki. These are the names of the men which Moses sent Moses to spy out the land, and called Moses Oshia, the son of Nun, of Jehoshua, or Yehoshua, and sent them Moses to spy the land of the Canaan. Okay, so he sent these men out as spies. Let me go check out the land. Let me go look the land up and down. Let me go search the land and see what's going on. Okay, and said unto them, Get up this way southward, and go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwells therein. So go up into the land, take a look at the land, survey the land, check out the land, but do it in a spying manner, like discreet would be the word. And also look at the people that dwell in there and let me know whether they are strong or weak or few or many. Give me the details of the land as well as the people. And what the land is that they dwell in, meaning is the land that they dwell in, is it a place that's really nice, very fancy, very beautiful, does it have a lot of grass, does green grass, does it have a lot of trees, what's the soil look like, what's the layout of the land look like, things like that. And whether it be good, in other words, whether or not it's worth fighting over. If the land is obviously not good land and it doesn't have anything of the land that's very good, and the people that are there are problematic, and it would look like a battle that would not be worth fighting. So kind of like choose your battles, and to choose your battles you got to know what you're fighting against. Okay, or bad, or what the cities they will be that they dwell in, whether in tents, whether they live in tents or actual buildings or strongholds or what. And what the land is, whether fat be it or lean, meaning now obviously there's no way of a land actually being fat, like having fat. That doesn't make sense. So this is talking about, like, is it hugely prosperous? Does it have a lot of benefits to it, or is it land that's very barren and things like that? Okay, therein, whether wood or not wood, meaning does it have resources, and be of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. So bring back some of the fruit if you can find it. Now the time was the time of the grapes. So hey, bring back some of the harvest that you find in the land if you happen to be there, because now obviously they're going to be there because he's sending them out as spies. So it's like, hey, you're going out as spies. You're going to be here anyway. Check out the land. Check out the people. But do it from a discreet manner, and bring me back some, like, foods, and we'll check it out and see what it's like. So they went up and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rehob, so that's the area, as men come to Hamath, that's a place, and they ascended by the south, meaning that's the direction that they came from, and came unto Hebron, where Ahiman, Seshai, and Telmai, the children of Anak, right? Anak, the children of Anak were. Now Hebron, 7 years was built before. So it had been up for 7 years is what it's trying to say. Zoan, it was up 7 years before Zoan, I think, in Egypt, and came unto the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from thence a branch, cut down a branch with cluster of grapes. So he's like, okay, let me get this branch of cluster of grapes. Now, how they did this, it just differs. Like one way to do it would be cut down a branch that has grapes on it, and then put the so like for us today, this would be cut down a branch, but to make the branch of grapes and other things that we would gather to last longer, let's put them in bags with water in the bags so that it might last longer. But how they exactly did it for themselves to make it last longer and stay good, we're not really sure. Okay, but anyway, he grabs a branch with a cluster of grapes, one, and they bear it upon a staff between two. And they brought the pomegranate, so that's something else they grabbed, right? So not just grapes, but they grabbed some pomegranates, and they also grabbed figs. And the place was called the brook Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes. So the reason it was called Eshcol was because of the fact that it had tons of grapes. And he said, which cut down the children of Israel, likely meaning that because they got drunk a lot. And they returned from searching the land after 40 days. So how long did they stay there as spies in the land? 40 days. Okay. And they went and came out to Moses after 40 days. And they came out to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel. So now they're returning back where they came from with all the details unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back unto them word and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. So, hey guys, we're back. Here's what we saw. Here's what was there. Here's the food that was there. Here's the things. Okay. And him and said, we came unto the land where you have sent us, and surely the land flows with lots of benefits, milk and honey. Very beneficial it is. And this is the fruit that we're bringing back. So try out this food. Check it out. And he says, even that being the case, that the land was very prosperous, he said, but the people were very strong. They dwell in the land, and the cities are walled, right? They have a huge wall, very great around them. And more, the children of Anak, okay, we saw there. So we have to figure out who this Anak is and the children of Anak are. Okay, so who is the children of Anak? Anak is the biblical figure identified as the forefather or ancestor of the Anakim or the Anakites. So when you see Anakites, those are people that are descendants of Anak. Okay, it is a race of warrior-like giants. Okay, now remember, the Nephilim come from, they're very large. They come from, the Nephilim are mix of the sons of God and women. So this is why I'm led to believe that sons of God, when it talks about in the Bible, is referring to this particular group. Warlike giants. Giants that inhabited the southern Canaan, particularly around Hebron, before Israel's conquer. And the son of Arba and the great man, Anak's descendants, were feared for their immense stature. Now, likely, I can't guarantee this, but likely, Goliath might have been a son or a descendant of Anak. Okay, so, and this is biblical. Okay, you see on the screen, the founder of Anakim was Anak, and the Anakim or Anakites They were a tribe, descendants of the Nephilim. You see that there? Descendants of the Nephilim. Numbers 13:33. The sons of Anak had several sons, which is why you see those names there that we see right here. Sashai, Ahiman, and Talmai, who were described as giant and tall in Numbers 13:22, and they are mentioned again in Joshua. Okay, their stronghold was Kirjath Arba, later known as Hebron. It was named after Anak's father, Arba, okay, which is why you see the name there, Arba. These are the spies. When Moses sent out spies to Canaan, they reported that sons of Anak were unstoppable giants. Okay, so I am not a prescriber of this nonsense of sons of God being angels. Not even a little bit. In everything that I've seen in the original scriptures, it does not fit. Okay, so let's get back to this thing. And the children of Anak we saw there, the Amalekites, I think it's Amalekites. Okay, descendants of that person, Anak, descendant of Anak. Okay, dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, a different group, and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea. So we have all these different groups of people: the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Canaanites dwell by the sea and different areas they live in, by the coast of the Jordan. And still, Caleb, okay, Caleb was still the people before Moses and said, "At once let us go up and possess for it. For well we will be able to overcome them." So this is Caleb. Okay, this is one of the ones that go into the promised land because they didn't doubt God. Joshua was the other one. Okay. All right. But the men that went up with him, the people of Israel that went with him, said, "Not we are able to go up against these people, for they are a lot stronger they are than us." So notice what's happened. Caleb has faith. I don't care how big they are, my God is with me, right? But the people of Israel are going, "Oh no," they're forgetting that God's with them. And maybe they're not fully forgetting, but they're being controlled by what they see and what they hear. Okay? They're being distracted and controlled by what they see and hear, and they're not focusing on who's with them. God can do anything. So, of course, he can make them win if he wants, right? But they're looking at physical things stronger. And brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched into the children. So basically, the Israelites are going, "Hey, we hear this bad report. Why do we want to believe that we can defeat them?" Okay. And they were saying, "The land which we have gone through to search it, it is a land that eats up the inhabitants thereof. It devours them. All the people that we saw in it are men of great stature," meaning huge, giants. Okay. And there saw the giants, the sons of Anak. So that's who the giants are, the descendants of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. So in our own eyes, we were small in comparison, and so we were in their sight. Okay, so that's the end of this. Not a whole lot going on. So let me give you context here for a moment. Okay, so now let's break this down on how this might apply to you. Okay, so this is what I'm being told. Okay, when you go out into the world, the things you come across might seem overwhelming to you. It might seem overwhelming to you. It might seem impossible to overcome what you face against in this world. It might seem difficult. It might seem tough. It might seem really, like I said, really difficult, really tough, very impossible, very difficult, like a huge mountain to overcome. And you are right. In your own view, if you just base it on yourself, it will seem like it's too much to face. But you have to understand who is with you, okay? Who has your back? Who is fighting with you? In other words, you're not alone, okay? So because you're not alone, you're not fighting alone. You're fighting with God on your side, okay? Don't ever forget who is fighting with you. Always remember who is on your side. Always remember who has your back. Always remember who you belong to. Okay, that's the first part that we want. And the other piece is this. As I said, if you're like the Israelites and you just base it on what reports have come back, oh, this person said this person said that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Who does the Bible say we shall fear? The one who can only destroy the body, or the one who can destroy the body and the soul? Now, that word destroy does not necessarily mean what we think it means. It does not necessarily always mean to make non-existent anymore, because we have to go by the original language. That will be a conversation for another time, okay? But nevertheless, if you base it on what you see, if you base your circumstance, if you base it on what you see, what you're able to experience, what you're able to notice in your physical realm, of course, it's going to be very easy to get discouraged and to doubt what God can do in the situation. But if you're like Caleb and you go, my God has said this, and I believe my God, so I'm going to walk forward regardless what the circumstances seem like, regardless how big the mountain may seem, and I am going to trust him and walk in that path, knowing that he is the one who's going to give me the victory. So in other words, are you going to walk in this life with doubt and consistently questioning? Or are you going to walk in this life with trust and putting your faith in God? Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. I'll see you at the next recording. Be blessed.